Good morning, Matthew Sweigart here, Sage Buffalo with Great Heart, once more coming to you with some information about and some exploration of the tools I'm offering in the Iron John Working Group, starting probably going to start in January. I've just got some new information last night about some activities going on in my town. On December 15th, I will hold an open house free day, so that you could come and explore in person. And I'll probably open up a virtual room here on Zoom as well. But because of the outdoor festival going on that day, parking will be a nightmare in town. And I will begin the formal programming with the tracking of sensation and emotion in January. And I will add a date in June for 6 full months. So the second two layers of this process work that I'm envisioning go into what we call bucketing and own your gold. So a whole day devoted to bucketing and a whole day devoted to own your gold. So bucketing is a process that is time-honored and revered through both the Mankind Project traditional teachings as well as Robert Bly's Iron John study. And in my concept or awareness or understanding of this process, I like to jump into the Iron John story where the wild man is submerged underneath the pond. He's down in a lake. He's been cursed. He's fallen down. He's taken that psychic hit where he has experienced the vertical descent down to the dregs, if you will. And when he is discovered, the people begin a bucket brigade to begin to bucket out the pond. And once they've gotten down to the bottom of the pond, they find the wild man there. And he's ruddy and red and covered with hair, and he's rusty, and he's been cursed. And so they lift him up and bring him into the public square. And the story goes on from there. It's quite a powerful story about the nature of the wild man, the natural man, the instinctual man that is somehow cursed or locked inside of us. It's been buttoned up and put into button-down shirts and suits and ties and maybe even crowns in a certain era. Certainly titles after the name, letters after your name, that somehow refer to your authenticity or valuableness, your ability to act and be in the world as you are, and with some weight of authority behind that. So the bucketing process is about digging out or bucketing out the pond to allow that natural, instinctual being within you to be revealed. And we do that in a distinctly fascinating way where we follow 3 tools, which are data, judgments, and feelings. And data, judgments, and feelings help us to reveal what we're going through so that we can look at it from the clear eyes of a tape recorder that's simply videotaping the data. Then we can look at the judgments we've made about that data, which come from inside of us. They're totally internal. All of our judgments come from shaping and conditioning and introjects and things that have been layered upon us by our conditions, social, cultural, religious. So we get a chance to look at the data and look at our judgments about what has happened in our life, and then drop into another layer deeper, which is our feeling layer. How does holding and possessing those judgments about that data bring up feelings inside you? Feelings are basically the world of affect. Of course, in our previous exploration of sensation and the isoma, images, sensations, orientation, meaning, and affect, we've already got a handle on what it means to feel sensations and emotions in our body. And these sensations and emotions have been inspired or engendered by the judgments we are holding, the beliefs we are holding about the data that has been presented to us. And they may have little or nothing to do with the actual data. The data may be actually quite benign. I had a conversation. I had an interaction. And then I made up all these stories about what that meant. And then I start acting from the meaning that I've created rather than from the actual events. So bucketing is the process of pulling that out and discovering for yourself, who am I in this situation? What feelings do I have? How rooted are these feelings deep in my psyche? Can I pull out the root of those feelings and look at them and call upon perhaps an ally to help me readjust the messaging I took on? I become quite disorganized when it comes to, for instance, care and caring, what it means to care for another, what it means to be cared for. That is a disorganized mess, perhaps, inside you, inside me. And bucketing is the process where we pull out the disorganization and get it reorganized. And so we'll spend a whole day. That will be the third Sunday of our practice, the third month of this invitation. And we're looking at this from the point of view of our own personal journey, but with an eye also toward how it can contribute to the betterment ultimately of society that surrounds us. If we are members of this society, it reminds me of that old story of the man who's cursing the traffic that he has to drive through every morning on his commute to work. And he's cursing this traffic. And then at one moment, he just realizes, I am the traffic. I am part of the traffic. I'm in my car. I'm driving through this congested zone myself. So am I not part of traffic? How is it that I'm complaining about myself? And so this is the greater social implication of our personal work, that if I improve myself, if I clear out the judgments and the feelings that have gotten in the way and created disorganization, I may be able to arrive at a more authentic presentation of myself to the society in which I live, and therefore raise up the society, raise up the culture, raise up the quality of life for all of us who walk in this world. And that's where the own your gold process becomes a critical factor. And so own your gold is one of my favorites. And we'll spend, again, a whole day, that'll be our fourth day, dropping into the own your gold process. And basically, the structure of this process is simple, actually. It's first, remember a time when you were at the top of your game. Drop into this memory of feeling fully in your game, at the top of your game, and then notice what attributes, what qualities you were able to express in that moment that really were you, the essence of you and what you bring to the world, your gold, your truth, your authenticity, your vulnerability, whatever those three qualities that really express themselves in full aliveness when you were at the top of your game. You can take a moment and do that right now. Just recall for yourself a moment when you were at the top of the game that you were playing and that you demonstrated qualities of being. Just pick three qualities of how you showed up in that moment. Now bring this awareness back to the current moment. Perhaps there's a current dilemma that you're facing that is consternating, it's confusing, it's maybe it's dealing with this misorganization of your understanding of what it means to be cared for or what it means to be caring. And ask yourself, how are you not bringing those qualities forward in this moment? And what would it mean to bring those qualities forward in this moment so that you could meet this current dilemma with more of that authentic essence of you? Own your gold, own your authentic nature, own the qualities that you bring, and notice the ways in which you sabotage and get in your own way through being. You may identify 3 negative attributes, 3 challenging attributes, the negative mind, the self-criticism, maybe even mean self-talk and self-flagellation that you're doing to yourself, beating yourself up. Whereas you could bring forward the qualities that you have experienced. When you were at the top of your game, you experienced these qualities of confidence, alive, awake, alert, etc. And you could bring these to the current moment, and it will help you through to resolution. And so this is the own your goal process, and it's quite tremendous actually when you get up and actually play it out in a kind of a psychodrama where you set a candle at the future self that you wish to become, and you stand at a distance from that candle, maybe 10 or 12 feet, and then you claim one of the attributes that is going to support you, and you let go of one of the attributes that's been dragging you down, and you claim and you let go, and you claim and you let go, and you take those 3 steps toward that golden moment, that moment when you can arrive in your full authenticity and your full glory, if you will, as a human being, full, regal, and royal. And so this is the Own Your Gold process and the bucketing process, which we will be doing in the 3rd and 4th meetings. You'll notice that there's a cumulative effect that we're exploring in each of these meetings, and I would encourage you to definitely commit to all 6. And if you can't be current or live at the 6, I will have a virtual option so that you could log on and be with us from wherever you are in the world, and that will be recorded so that it will be in an archive for you. And I will also have worksheets and journaling prompts that you can use for your own personal process work, to jot down things that you wish to remember and hold on to, and then also just help you embody and hold these current for you at the tip of your tongue in any moment. And so I encourage you to sign up for all 6, but I'm also opening the option that you might want to drop in for one day. You might want to drop in and do just bucketing work. You may want to drop in and do Own Your Gold work. And I am reserving that opportunity really for men who already have initiated at some level in their experience of life, that they're not just dropping in willy-nilly and taking advantage of a situation that they may not actually be ready for. So each of the cumulative classes is building a container, and we want to keep that container safe and strong so that we can actually do this deeper work with trust. Trust in the men gathered and the circle gathered that can hold the space for us to do this deep internal work. So those are the 3rd and 4th days of the 6-month journey. Again, these are one-day workshops once a month. And I'm encourage you to commit to all 6 so that we can work together as a unit, as a group, to support one another to own that gold and then bring that gold back into your world. You may bring it to your integration group that you're sitting with, the other men in your life, the families that you live with, the women in your life, the institutions, the places where you work and pray and worship and dedicate yourself to the practice of being alive. So each of these provides you with a kernel each day, and together they create a cumulative effect so that you become a more whole man. You've pulled that wild man up from the bottom of the pond. You've recognized his hairy, rusty qualities and his instinctual qualities that tap him in to an essence that is authentic and truly yours that you can own. And as you own that gold, you bring it forth into your world. Thank you. I'm Matthew Sweigart, Sage Buffalo with great heart. Happy to bring you this opportunity and to guide you through these processes and to be guided through these processes myself. So leave your comments, questions, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, where I will explore the final two processes of our 6-month journey, which involve they've escaped me at this time. I'll remember them at the right moment. I know that the last one is a purification and renewal, which is a really exciting ritual process that I have been part of for the last 40 years. And I'm excited to bring it to you in a living, live, full-on expression. And that'll be in June. Yeah, so let's have some fun with this. And again, leave your comments. It is your participation that improves the quality of this offering for us all. Take good care. See you next time.